How's it going, YouTube lovers? This is the EBAnimation. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm here to do my 2025 year in review. 2025 was honestly such a fun year for me for making content on this channel. Obviously, things like Meta Runner were a huge part of that. I also really got into the rhythm of doing monthly streams, especially with Marvel Rivals. And I have like a brand new computer setup now that's made making videos like so much smoother of a process for me, and I'm able to do a lot more with it. And of course, there's just so much. So let's take a trip down memory lane. I'm going to go month by month, talking about some of the highlights from each of those months as we look at the last calendar year of my YouTube channel. Right off the bat, I started this year with a reaction to the Season 1 finale of Meta Runner, which I was not expecting to end the way it did. That twist that, you know, Lucinia was Sophia's sister completely took me by surprise, and that series ended up continuing on to be a huge staple for most of the year on my channel. In reactions, I also ended up watching CG5's indie horror film Project Yumu, because I reacted to the trailer because like, oh, this looks interesting. It has Piper Rubio from the FNAF movie. I'll check it out. And I was like, ooh, this is kind of interesting. I'll react to that. And I reacted to part 1 later that month, and it ended up being a full reaction series on the channel. I do think it didn't quite stick the ending, but overall, I think I quite enjoyed it. I just think indie filmmaking is fun in general. Definitely felt like it was very guerrilla, a lot of the techniques they're using, especially with the found footage style, and overall, I really enjoyed it. But also that month I had the finale of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, which got me one step closer to finishing playing the entire Luigi's Mansion trilogy in reverse, which I'm going to finish next month, which is pretty exciting. I also began a live stream only series on the game Sonic Frontiers, which I really did enjoy that game overall. It had its rough spots, but I'm looking forward to what they're going to be able to do in a follow-up to it, whether it's a Frontiers 2 or just something else that builds on what they did with that. I'm looking forward to the next mainline Sonic game for sure. Largely because of the Super Bowl being in February, I ended up doing a lot of trailer reactions this month, including Fantastic Four First Steps, Jurassic World Rebirth, Thunderbolts, and unfortunately a Minecraft movie. I saw like nearly all of those in theaters, and it was a huge big summer of movies this year. But I didn't just do reactions. Of course, I do a lot of gameplay on my channel. That is the main thing I do. And I ended up finishing both Epic Mickey Rebrushed and Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, the VR game, which is my favorite Hello Neighbor game to date. And speaking of Hello Neighbor, February is also when Prototype 1 of Hello Neighbor 3 released, and I was lucky enough to be able to get access to that right away and make a video on it. And I've also made videos on the 2 prototypes that have released since, and it's got my hopes up. It seems like it's going in a good direction. It's still got a little bit of that Hello Neighbor. You have zero clue what's going on because they straight up don't tell you things in the game, like, oh, the flashlight being on is what keeps the guest away. They could have put some kind of hint to that, but I had zero clue until I read comments. So I hope that they can improve that game as they keep going forward and listen to more feedback, because overall I like the direction that it's going. And that wasn't actually the only early access game that I played that month, because I also was lucky enough to get into the closed network test for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which ended up being my favorite kart racer of the year. I still do love Mario Kart World. Of course, I did another video on that this month. But overall, I just think that I enjoy Sonic Racing Crossworlds overall as a game a lot more, and I definitely want to do more content on that going forward. Again, I'll probably do something on whenever the Pac-Man DLC finally drops, because I don't think that's released yet. But I'm definitely planning to get that, and I'll do a video on it, kind of like I did with the Minecraft DLC. In March, I finished the story mode for Clone Drone in the Hyperdome, which I really loved, especially when they added the Endless mode Skyscraper later, which I did a couple videos on. It is just such a fun game that really takes full use of VR motion control mechanics. I hope that they add more content to that game, or I'm good with both, work on a 3rd game in that series. I think the Clone Drone games are just so much fun. I love the stupid sense of humor that they have, and I love that they actually put a lot of effort into the characters in this one, as opposed to just, you know, text-to-speech voices, which we still get with the announcers. They actually gave us like fully voice-acted and mocapped characters, which I really enjoyed the personalities of. Well, everyone, screw you, MX2. Also, because Minecraft Live is now a twice-a-year thing, I was able to do a live stream reaction in March to that event where they revealed Vibrant Visuals and the Happy Ghast. Vibrant Visuals, I think, still needs a bit more time cooking. I think they released it a little bit too early, but the Happy Ghast, I think, is a fantastic addition to the game, and they're also promoting the movie during this Minecraft Live, which I will say I finally did watch a little bit ago, and I was right not to go see that in theaters. It was... oh my gosh, what were they thinking with that one? Oh boy. But on a higher note, I also streamed the end of Sonic Frontiers, the main ending of Sonic Frontiers that month. It was unfortunately an underwhelming ending, because like the final boss was really weird, but luckily there was another ending to get, which means that I had more to play and more streams to do. Right off the bat, April gave us our first teaser trailer, our first trailer in general, for the second Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and the trailer was awesome. Unfortunately, the movie was a bit less so. I still enjoyed it, but Scott needs to bring back a co-writer to help him with this. You could really tell it was Scott all by himself writing it, struggling with this. I liked the first half of the movie a lot. I think everything from the opening scene in 1982 to Mike actually playing the game basically in the office, I thought was great. And then all the stuff with the animatronics in town was actually super underwhelming. But I'm hopeful that Scott is listening to feedback like that, and we'll be able to have a much better Five Nights at Freddy's 3, because come on, the movie's made like over 4 times its production budget. We're getting that third movie, because we need to see Springtrap in all of his glory. They already set up Fazbear Fright, so I'm excited to see that for sure. I love the post-credits and thought that was awesome. But other things that I did that month was I streamed getting the second, which is probably the canon ending of Sonic Frontiers, which took me 2 streams to get. This is even though the first of those 2 streams was my longest live stream ever on the channel. At over 5.5 hours I was doing that, and then it's like, oh yeah, fight every single major boss in a row with no ring regeneration. That was insane, but I got that done in the second stream and was able to go right on to the final boss. I did have to look up what was the key move for beating it, which is just like using a dodge thing, which I never used in a boss fight. I really wish that they had set it up more that way. But overall, like I said, I enjoyed that game. I think Sage was a fantastic character. I'm excited that we're seeing more of her already in Sonic games that came after. And I'm just, like I said, looking forward to what the follow-up to Frontiers is going to be. But this month also had, it was a very busy month in April, 2 game returns and 2 big videos regarding indie animation. For the game returns, I finally returned to finish Super Hot Mind Control Delete, and I also began replaying my favorite game of all time, Portal 2, but with a VR mod installed so that I can actually be immersed in the world of Aperture Science and just see like towering over me GLaDOS when we wake her up and everything. Oh man, I wish Valve would return and get to that world properly, not just as a tech demo for a new piece of hardware, which they might be releasing some new Aperture-related tech demos, because they have some new hardware that they announced recently, so if they haven't, and I'm able to play without having to get any of that hardware, I will definitely be checking it out. You can count on that. But for the indie animation side, I watched the pilot for Glitch's new 3D animated show, The Gaslight District. I thought that overall the pilot was way too fast-paced for the amount of stuff that was happening in it, but I really loved the characters of Mel and Ken and their father-daughter dynamic, and I am looking forward to watching more of that show going forward. I know that they're in production, and I think they're focusing on finishing Digital Circus right now, which the second to last episode of that is going to be in March, so it might be a bit before we get Gaslight Episode 2, but animation takes time. We know that when it comes out, it's going to look fantastic. The pilot already looked great for Gaslight District, so I'm looking forward to what else they got going on. But then the other thing related to indie animation that I released that month was a very special unboxing video where I unboxed a full, 8-box, character thing for the Murder Drones main character series Animinies. And I actually ended up finishing my collection afterwards off camera. Check it out. I got N now, so it's that I actually have the full set of the main character series Animinies. I love these little guys. They're such great little collectibles. And I actually, as a Christmas gift, because Christmas was just a week ago, received a Murder Drones Midnight Mischief series Animinies. So here's a little mini unboxing here. I already know what it is. I ended up getting Dino-Sin. Gosh, I love this so much. It's something I never expected to see, and now I just have her singing the Jurassic Park theme in my head. And I will say, it's really interesting. The new Animinies are significantly larger than the other one. I can't tell if it's just because of the dino head, but I just feel like it's bigger. Like, I guess the face looks a little bit bigger, right? That's not just my imagination playing tricks on me. I think her face looks bigger than his face. But either way, I'll always be happy to keep murder drones alive on this channel, reacting to fan projects that are coming up, and I want to check out a couple of fan games. So definitely going to see more murder drones, even though the series has ended. May somehow ended up being even crazier for trailer reactions than February was with the Super Bowl, because we had the Godzilla & Kong Supernova title reveal, which I will say the Writers Guild website may have leaked the main villain, which means that my detective work with the binary code in that teaser may have not been for naught. It seems like that I was right on the money. I also reacted to a teaser for an upcoming series with Nicolas Cage, Spider Noir. Still don't think I was technically supposed to have watched that yet. I don't think that was actually ended up being officially released, but the video's still up. They haven't taken it down, so I will leave it up until they tell me otherwise. I also reacted to the trailer for Superman. I ended up really liking the cast and characters in that movie, especially Clark and Lois and Jimmy, but I think the movie itself wasn't great. I just really liked the characters in it and things like that, so I'm hoping that there's going to be better scripts for these characters and these actors going forward. I also reacted to the final trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth. I was right. The D-Rex was just as stupid as it looked in the trailer as it was in the movie. It was so stupid. I liked so much of that movie. The cliff sequence genuinely had me stressing out. The D-Rex was so dumb, and everything involved in it, from the opening scene to how it shows up later. Can we just leave the mutants behind, please, and just do regular dinosaur stuff again? At least without the even if it's still stupid and dumb, at least we'll have dinosaurs, actual dinosaurs. But then the other trailer that I reacted to that month during all this was the teaser for Zootopia 2. That movie ended up being amazing. Honestly, maybe even better than the first. I really enjoyed that film, and I'm looking forward to seeing them try to make a proper trilogy with this, because they clearly know where they're going to go with the third movie based on the tease that in the post-credit scene of Zootopia 2. Again, lots of reactions that month. And on the gaming side of things, I actually started a small Let's Play with my mom playing The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, the April Fool's game that Sega released, which actually ended up being a super fun point-and-click adventure. Like I said, it also had a cameo from Sage. It's keeping her going in the storyline, and it was just really a good time. It was a fun little, tiny, not complex puzzles to solve, voicing the characters back and forth. It was really fun. I'd love to do more videos with my mom going forward. It's always fun. I always have to try to find the simple ones because she is not a gamer like I am. So I'm definitely gonna have her on my channel more. I just gotta figure out what games we're gonna play. Maybe some more co-op stuff so I can help her out. But then also in May, I uploaded my final video on the Switch 1, which was returning to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for a 200cc video with my friends. And that was the last video I did on the old generation of Nintendo's hardware, because next month, the Switch 2 would arrive. Before I got to the Switch 2, though, I ended up actually wrapping up 3 Let's Plays in June. Portal 2 VR, like I said, The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, because it was just a short series, and also Super Hot Mind Control Delete, which involved leaving the game open for a stupid amount of time. I don't really think that was worth it, but I did complete that game. Finally, I have completed every Super Hot game on the channel now, and whew, that was honestly exhausting to get. But after that, the Switch 2 did release, and I was able to actually get one on launch night. And I made an unboxing video so I could show, hey, here it is. I got the video of me picking it up from the store, and then I did the unboxing, showing off the new screen and all the Joy-Cons. And my first gaming video on the console was the launch title Mario Kart World, which, like I said, it clearly has issues. Everyone knows that it does, but I still really enjoy the mechanics of it. I think that when you're actually controlling it, it feels the best. Of the 2 console Mario Kart games that I've played, it feels the best to me. So I really hope that Nintendo can return to it and actually give it justice sometime, because it deserves it. It is a really fun game. It just needs more content because the mechanics are really sound and visually it looks great. Ay, Nintendo, please go back to that game. I also had 2 big reaction videos that month that ended up being a beginning and an ending in more ways than one. I reacted to the season 2 finale of Meta Runner, which is probably my favorite episode of the series. I think that it did like the tension and the reveal super well. I love all the character moments in it, but it was also one of the last videos that I recorded on my gaming laptop. I had like one other one that I recorded just to make sure it was ahead of time, but it was the last one that I released before I started recording with my new setup, because at this point I had bought a new PC, an actual tower PC from Origin PC. Don't ask me how my wallet is feeling. It's still in critical condition. But it allowed me to get a brand new setup and a much more powerful computer to do this. And right away, I was able to record another reaction, this time to the first episode of the Bionicle fan series that I cannot wait to see more of, Tales of the Manga. I thought it was fantastic. Dip back into the Bionicle world, really fit the tone super well. And I'm looking forward to see more of that series. And hey, I have the perfect setup to keep recording it now, so it's definitely looking forward to that. But then also this month it was perfect because right away the game that I got to record to like basically christen my new PC as a gaming PC was Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. It ended up being my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game. I love the whole retro vibes of it. I thought the character designs were great. I think the story about the Murrays was actually really well done. See, Scott can write good stories, which is why I have hope that movie 3 can still be salvaged. But I just want that VR mode now. Dang it. Come on, Steelwool. Please. That is one thing I'm frustrated with at Steelwool, is the lack of communication about some things. I think they were scared after like feeling like that they were communicating too much about security breach and before it turned into everything else, but now I just think they've overcorrected and they're just not telling anyone anything, and it's just frustrating at this point. I want to replay that game in VR so bad. July gave us our best Switch game so far, which was Donkey Kong Bonanza. It ended up being a long-running series on my channel for the rest of the year, and I loved the gameplay and the soundtrack, the dynamic between DK and Pauline. It's against the same developers as Odyssey. I want to see a lot more Nintendo games from them going forward, because they clearly understand and respect all of the like previous material they have to work with and how to give us an exciting new version of it for the current generation of consoles. I really loved that game. But then also in July, to keep the gaming going, I had my first Marvel Rivals live stream, because again, I have a computer that can run it now, which is very good, which was the launch with Season 3.0 and the start of streaming that game monthly, because they have 2-month seasons and they release a new character every half a season, which means it's the perfect opportunity to check out new characters every single month on stream, which means next month I will be streaming Marvel Rivals to play as Deadpool, because he is confirmed to be the January release character, and then February is going to be Elsa Bloodstone. But of course, I'm excited for Elsa Bloodstone because I know her from Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus, and I thought she was interesting there, so I'm curious what the more comic accurate version is going to play like and sound like and act like in the game. But of course, I'm excited for Deadpool. I mean, come on, it's Deadpool. I'm really curious how they're going to translate all of his humor into the vast roster of characters that we have. He better have voice lines with nearly everyone, because you know for a fact he's looking through the fourth wall and knows every single one of their Wikipedia pages. I also finished Secret of the Mimic this month, getting all 3 endings, including the one that took so long to get because I had to go on, like, basically finish 100%ing the game in order to get there. But it was so great. And like I said, I want to play VR mode on that game so bad, but also in general, I'm just looking forward to what game is going to come next for Five Nights at Freddy's. They've been teasing, I believe, basically a sequel to Ruin, with a lot of themes about like elevators and things like that, as we know for poor Cassie. But also, I kind of would love if there was another middle ground game in the timeline, something that continued the Mimic story in the middle of the rest of it going on, like something that happened around 1983, or maybe around like, you know, the events of like Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and Pizzeria Simulator and stuff like that. I would love to see another game that's like kind of a middle ground, continuing the Mimic story and filling in other gaps in the timeline around the sides, because this one, like being the first in the timeline, really opened up a lot of answers and a lot of questions, so I'd love to see a little bit more of that filled in. But I also, speaking of VR, can't do it with Secret of the Mimic yet, but I did start a brand new Minecraft Let's Play that month, which was a VR Minecraft Let's Play using the Vivecraft and Behaptic mods and a bunch of other ones just that are like purely for the VR feel. It's still basically a vanilla Let's Play series just with VR, and it is so much fun. My goal is still to beat the Ender Dragon. I might end up doing some other things, but I'm not going to be focusing on doing like this whole, oh, it's a big Let's Play, I'm going to do a bunch of things. This is a very focused Let's Play. Once I get myself really established and I can get resources, I am going to go to the end and I am going to kill that dragon as soon as I am capable. I am really looking forward to that. I think it is going to be stressful trying to kill the dragon when you're in VR and excuse me, because it's Jean, is just throwing you around and stuff like that. I'm very much looking forward to it and nervous about it all at the same time. As always, in August, I released my channel anniversary compilation video, as it was the 9th anniversary of my Minecraft Let's Play, my first one, which means that next August will mark a decade since I started regularly making YouTube content. I can't believe it's been that long, but I have multiple special videos. It's not just going to be the anniversary compilation. I have multiple special videos planned and I'm currently working on that I'm going to be releasing in August as like a just stretch of like daily content to celebrate the anniversary of my channel. And I'm so looking forward to doing that. Again, I'm even going to sneak in like a whole, celebrating 10 years for the channel trailer that's coming out tomorrow. Just a little sneak preview of what's to come. I'm very much looking forward to that. But, you know, August, that's just a little bit of August is the anniversary. That's just one day that I released my 9th anniversary video. There is still a whole month, and that included Boris and the Dark Survival's basically remake, Bendy Lone Wolf. I never finished Boris and the Dark Survival. That was when I was still trying to do Twitch streams. Thank goodness I gave that up. And just stream on YouTube now, because then I get to make all the thumbnails. It's super fun. But Bendy Lone Wolf came out, and it was a marked improvement over the original. Yes, it was still largely the same game, but the sense of progression and the sense of story felt a lot stronger in it, and I really enjoyed it, and the way it connected to the current version of the story with like Dark Revival's timeline instead of Ink Machines. I love that. I think the Bendy franchise is great. I'm looking forward to more. But then also I finished the remake of Sonic Generations in August, which means that I was able to go on right to Shadow Generations, which was much better game, definitely had a better ending. But then in between the two, I reacted to the prequel animation for Shadow Generations called Dark Beginnings, and that was just absolute peak. Just seriously so good. I loved it, and I would love to see them do more with that. I think that there was another Shadow the Hedgehog like trademark or something that was filed, and it seemed to be for the game side of things, not for the movie side of things. Like it was a Sega trademark, not a Paramount trademark. So very curious what that could potentially lead to. But then another game I played in August was actually a cool game called Last Flag. I was able to get early access to it, and they opened up the ability to record the game and post videos on it. And it's actually really cool because the game is basically a hero shooter, but it is a capture the flag game that is made by a studio that was founded by the lead singer of Imagine Dragons and his brother, which is really special for this channel because my first gaming intro was Imagine Dragons on Top of the World. That was the first music that I used before I started using the T-Series diss track that I use now. I used another song before that. I think it was Endless by Fox Stevenson. So being able to play a game that was actually, you know, conceptualized by the guy whose song was the beginnings of this channel just felt amazing and very appropriate to do in my channel's anniversary month. Nintendo gave us a Direct in September, which ended up being the highlight of it, the title reveal of Super Mario Galaxy's movie adaptation, the second Mario movie. And I thought, of course it leaked already that it was going to be a Galaxy movie, but it was still cool to hear them officially say it, and I am absolutely looking forward to that movie. I love the first one. I'm really looking forward to what they have in store with this next one, especially because it could potentially get us closer to a Luigi's Mansion spinoff. I think that would be awesome in the movie form, to give Luigi his own movie with King Boo as his villain. You can blend elements from all three of the games, and I think it would be really cool. We can get EGAD and Polterpup in here. Definitely hoping that they'll do that at some point. Please, Illumination. But then also in September, I reacted to Glitch's first 2D animated show, Knights of Guinevere. And I have to say, I still am mixed on that show. I don't know if I'm going to continue reacting to it on this channel. It's definitely, of the shows that I've seen from Glitch, which I've seen all of them except for Sunset Paradise, which I will be watching next year. It's definitely the pilot that has hooked me the least after watching it. But either way, I think it's really an interesting world that they built up, and I hope that the show does improve to explore more of it. But then another thing that happened in September is that Sonic Racing Crossworlds was fully released, and I was able to, of course, play that because I was like, I loved I did the closed network test, I also did the open network test, and I really enjoyed it, so I bought the game, able to play it. It was so much fun, and you know, there's a huge potential for like the other characters they could bring in here as part of the whole from another cross world kind of thing, not just the Hatsune Miku that everyone was talking about. But you know, Angry Birds is technically Sega owned now, so we could potentially see Angry Birds show up in a Sonic Racing game. I think that'd be super fun. I would definitely do a video on that if they did that. At the end of September, I live streamed my reaction to the second and final Minecraft Live of the year, which was revealing the new weapon, the Spear, and the Mounts of Mayhem drop, which, not as good as an update as the Happy Gas update there that we had. I definitely enjoyed Chase the Sky a lot more, but I'll keep watching Minecraft Live every time they do it because I want to see what new features that they have been cooking because, you know, like the Happy Gas, sometimes it'll be something absolutely brilliant. October is when I ran out of Meta Runner episodes to watch and reacted to the Season 3 finale, which was the series finale. I did not cry like I did with Murder Drone's finale, but I did get close a few times. I had to take a lot of deep breaths to avoid crying in that one. It was such a fantastic show, such an emotional ending. I felt so connected to those characters, and I'm really going to miss them. But, you know, mentioning Murder Drones, we were able to actually return to Copper 9 with an official music video of a new song by The Living Tombstone with the cast singing in it, and it was awesome. It basically was like an epilogue for the show, and I still stand by what I said in that low stakes, like either more music videos or just shorts in general, set in the Murder Drones universe post finale is like the best way for this series to continue living on and give us more stories with these characters. You know, kind of like the Toy Story shorts before they, you know, released a fourth movie and ruined the franchise. With it being October, of course, in the spirit of the spooky, I returned to the VR game Jurassic World Aftermath to not just pick up where I left off because it's been a long time and I was barely into the game. I started the game over and we are going to finish it this time. I am already into what is considered part 2 of the game, and I'm really excited to see how Sam and Mia's story is going to wrap up and if they're going to be able to escape Isla Nublar with all these raptors around, because now we got to get Blue's DNA, so we got to see what happens with that. And with Meta Runner complete, I moved on to a new to me, series, and that ended up being Epithet Erased. I started reacting to that show in October. I checked it out because of a comment on one of my videos recommending it to me, and I really have been enjoying it. I'm going to be finishing Season 1. I'm going to still call it Season 1, even though it's technically all we're going to get in animated form. I'm finishing Season 1 next month, and then I'm going to be reacting to the 6-chapter audiobook preview for Prison of Plastic, and then after that, I'll be doing a full Ebe's Book Club review on the actual book itself. So the finale is not going to be the finale for Epithet Erased on my channel. I've still got plenty of story to check out. In November, I finished the main story for Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was an incredible ending full of like 3 separate twists that took me by surprise. I loved it so much. That ending wasn't great, and then it ended up, you know, having an incredibly frustrating and exhausting post-game, but we don't talk about that. We just talk about how cool the ending is. But also with Nintendo, Luigi's Mansion 1 was finally added to the Nintendo Classics catalog, so I will be able to finish playing the Luigi's Mansion trilogy in reverse order. I have the finale for that going up next month as well, so it'll be fully complete, and then I will be able to join everyone in the wait for a Luigi's Mansion 4, because come on, Nintendo. That would be awesome. Also in November, I checked out the game Glitch Kart, which was a little browser kart racing game, a single player that Glitch put out to promote their Black Friday merch, basically. But it was fun, like, you know, racing around on the circus grounds. We had, like, the primary characters from Glitch's 4 main shows, and it was really cool. Please, Glitch, take that as the fact that it took me so long to actually get logged into it because the website would stop working. please take that as a sign that people want games based on these worlds and on these characters. Please partner up with game studios or start your own game division or something and give us official glitch games based on, you know, like Murder Drones or Digital Circus or Gaslight District. That would be just so much fun, and I think the fans would really, really enjoy it. You know, I played Glitch Carts, was not the best, but I made sure to race as every single character so that we just had a ton of fun and got to hear all their different voice lines. But then also, in November, I finished up Bendy Lone Wolf, which had an incredible ending, which has me even more excited for the third mainline Bendy game, which is Bendy the Ink Factory. Of course, I plan to play that, but I also plan to next year play Bendy the Cage, because they took it off of ice and it is finally coming out, and it's actually going to end up being the first, and currently only I have planned, M-rated game that I'm playing on the channel. I wasn't sure about it, but it's like the whole thing is like, oh, it's Bendy though. It's a series I've played a while. I love the series, and yeah, I'll do it. And thanks to you, everyone who voted in the poll. I will absolutely be playing Bendy the Cage on the channel when it comes out. Sometime next year. We don't have an actual release date yet. It's just coming next year. I'm looking forward to what they've been cooking. In this final month of the year, I finally gave in and did something I never thought I would. I played Fortnite. I started with the LEGO Fortnite Odyssey mode because the reason it finally got me to play the game is that they collaborated with LEGO to bring Ninjago into the game. Ninjago is my second favorite LEGO series of all time behind Bionicle, so now I am a Kai main in Fortnite. Yep, that is happening. I did a Battle Royale video as well after the LEGO Odyssey video, and I've actually been having fun playing Blitz, especially with my friends off camera since that video, and still playing as Kai, still hoping that his Sword of Fire is going to be added to the game soon. But yeah, overall, I'm surprisingly having a good time with that. I'm still, of course, you know, new to the game, but I am getting better at it already. I've played plenty of hero shooters at this point, so it's all just a matter of getting used to that specific game's controls. So yeah, really surprising to me even that I played Fortnite, but what wasn't surprising is how much I loved Renaissance VX's Bionicle mini-movie. The 3D animation was so cool. I love the designs. It was the most lived in that the Bionicle world that I know and love has ever felt, and they have already confirmed that they're making a full series of these, and they're going to have other short films as well, so I will absolutely be there to react to every single one of those. Not there, if they do any more of the whole, like, oh, designing the character thing, like they did, like how this whole thing started, showing how they designed, you know, like Gali or Anua or the Matoran or some of the Rahi and stuff like that, I won't be reacting to those, but if it's an actual, like, mini movie or episode, I will definitely be reacting to those. I love those designs, and I'm hope that they get to keep this going and tell as many stories of the Bionicle universe as they're able to. I think it would be so cool if they're able to keep going year by year in the Bionicle story. Could you imagine how horrifically cool stuff like the Hordika could look in their 3D art style? Oh my gosh, I absolutely am looking forward to that. I think that would be amazing. But before the end of this year, Marvel decided to try to loop me back in, because, you know, the MCU's been a little rough, but Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four were both good. And they started their really strange marketing campaign for Avengers Doomsday, which isn't out for another year. It's not out till December 2026. But they have already released their first teasers, starting in theaters and then eventually to online, so I got to start reacting to those, and I'm planning to react to all the teasers and the big trailers that they released for this movie. Definitely probably more excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day at this point, because I think Doomsday feels like it's a bit of a rush development, but either way I want to check it out and see. It's probably going to be like a big just smashing your action figures of your favorite characters together kind of movie, and that can still be fun. So I'm hoping that they can at least make a fun movie for Avengers Doomsday with all of these different characters coming together for it. So there you have it. That was my look back at 2025. It was a big year, but like I said, the 10th anniversary of my first Minecraft Let's Play, which I consider the beginning of my YouTube career, the beginning of my channel proper, is coming up in August, and I have multiple videos planned to celebrate that. Also, I am really looking forward to checking out the rest of the story of Epithet Race with things like the end of the season and Prison to Plastic as its book sequel. I'm also considering playing that game Pragmata, Capcom's new IP, City when that comes out in April. I played the demo on Steam and I thought it was really fun. So I'm thinking I might actually do a Let's Play on that game as well. And of course, in the background, I'll always be like doing like new trailer reactions and movie release, like review shorts. Like as they come out, I'll be doing those. And like I said, of course, more indie animation. After I finish Epithet Erased fully, including checking out Prison of Plastic, I am planning to finally watch Glitch's other show, which is the way a lot of people seem to think about it. Their second show after Meta Runner, right before Murder Drone, Sunset Paradise. And so that I will have seen every show that Glitch has released, except SMG4 is technically not Glitch, so I might be a little lost with Sunset Paradise because I think that one's more directly connected to SMG4 than Meta Runner was, even though Tari is also an SMG4. But I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out and seeing what characters and story they're going to have, because I was quite fond of Kevin and Luke's humor in Meta Runner, so I'm looking forward to see what Sunset Paradise has. But there you have it. That was my 2025 year in review. 2026 is about to arrive. I'm really happy with my channel trailer. I hope you will check it out when it comes out tomorrow. And I have plenty of videos planned for the year with no plans of stopping anytime soon. But anyway, that's going to do it. That's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Please drop a like and a comment down below if you did. If you're subscribed, if you haven't already. I'll see you all in the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye, guys.